Coming to you from the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. This is The Stand with your hosts Shane Williams and Lance Dobbs.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of The Stand. First off, always thank you for your support, likes, and shares. We are growing. I just want to say that our last video hit up to 60 views. You're probably saying that's not a lot, but for us, we're getting there. It's a great feeling to have people support us and to actually know what's going on in the world and stuff like that. Just to have people awoke really makes a big difference, and that's what we're all here about to help you get the information. I know a lot of our lives are very busy in day-to-day matters, um, but I just want to let you guys know that we really appreciate your likes and shares and views and everything else like that, and continue supporting, sharing us. That's the only way the information is going to get out to people, and that we're actually going to hopefully make the stand for liberty. But continue. Today, we're going to be talking about another candidate, one that has been ridiculed. Geez, you name it, they done it. Just
Called him every name, trying to stop him in every way
right.
they can.
You probably guessed we're talking no other than Trump. Uh, some of the bads and goods that he has going on, the attack to steal the campaign from him. Uh, Also talking about how the death threats and everybody else is there. So let's start getting into it. So like I said in the intro there, uh, it's the whole attack that we're really trying to focus on right now. Uh, you may have your different views and everything else like that on Trump and what he thinks, and maybe he's a racist and all this other stuff. Uh, but from what we're all the research that we've done and everything else like that, and it's not just blindly following somebody for their views.
I mean, these are just attack ads against him. I mean, he has the Democratic Party pouring in money on attack ads against him. He
Right.
has his own party, the GOP, that they just released a statement of says they put 67 million into attack ads against Trump like last week. So you got his own party going against him. You got the Democrats. I mean, both these are this is the two-party system.
Right.
They don't want an outsider in because it's going to ruin their cash flow. It's going to ruin.
It's going to ruin all their policies and all the procedures that they already have in place. So they have someone come in now from the outside, basically going to uproot the whole system that they already put in place. I mean, it's going to basically set him back 4 years
It's
or longer if he gets reelected.
yeah. So the government it's super corrupt, and they don't want someone to change it. They just want to keep going the way it is.
Well,
So
if you also look, they want to, just like you said, or like I just said also, they have someone in and puts them back 4 years. From what we're looking at and everything else like that, the New World Order, uh,
they're scared of him.
they're scared of them. And to have their plans go back even another 4 years and everything else, that just puts them that much further back. So the steal is real. They're taking his delegates and everything else like that. Negative ad campaigns.
And then you just had the first time ever that Rubio is now going to keep his delegates, even though he's dropped out of the race. If it does go to the convention, he is keeping his delegates, is what he said. So,
I
and
mean,
that's,
just go ahead.
I was going to say, that's the first time ever that a candidate has actually held his candidates and has dropped out of the race in a convention. So, that's just,
It's just proof to go to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that it's blatant. They said multiple times that your vote doesn't count. Well, if you vote and everything else like that because of the delegates and everything are the ones who ultimately decide. Well, it's not how it works. Your vote for the delegates and everything else like that is so the delegates then choose the popular vote. That's who the delegates are supposed to go for. Um,
each state's different. So,
exactly. So it all depends on the population of the state and everything else like that. Now, obviously, California probably being the biggest one with all delegates. uh, is probably the one that you want the most. So,
So let's start on just some things that is happening to Trump's family. Um, you got death threats going against him. His son and his son's wife received a letter with a bunch of white powder in it, telling him to have his dad drop out of the race or something horrible will happen to his family. Um, you have boxes being sent to his offices, just
just multiple attacks. You see him every
death
day.
threats.
Death threats, people trying to rush up on stage while he's campaigning and everything else like that. Now, I don't agree with that. You know, if you have something against somebody and stuff like that, you can go right outside and protest. You don't have to go in and start a
And
fight
try
with
to
everything else.
try to, yeah,
Right.
don't fight. I mean,
I mean, whether you like them or don't like them, and if you don't like them, it's whatever. I don't agree with some of the things he says, like the a wall. In my point of view, I don't think a wall is going to do anything. People are going to always going to find a way to get underneath him, over him, through him.
but he's expressing an interest in just trying to stop illegal immigration.
Right,
The key word there is illegal. Um, he still is for immigration, but by legal means. So
right, and you know, the whole thing is just to do background checks. Now, you know, you're coming from background from a country that really doesn't have a lot of modern technology or anything else like that. You know, it's pretty hard to do a background check on people. So, I mean, I guess we just have to do the best we can with what we got. But at least it sort of slows down the whole illegal immigration process. You know, I'm not saying that we want to kicking out all the illegal, from my point of view, kicking out all the illegal immigrants that are here in the country now. I think we should just legalize them. You know, do a background check on them, make sure they have no violent crimes against them or anything else.
that's not my stance on that,
Well,
but
yeah, but like for me, what I'm saying is, make them citizens. They're already here working. Just make sure that they're legit. But your point of view is what?
my point of view is if they are illegal, I personally think if you're here illegally and or if you've overstayed a visa, I mean they put out a report last year where they had students, all these outside people that came in on visas, green cards, um, just everything to come into the country legally have overstayed them. So, I mean, there was a number that they put out 650,000 overstayed last year. So they're all technically illegal in the states now that are just staying. So I personally think they should all, for illegal immigrants, send illegals back to their countries. China, Japan, everywhere. They're all here
Right,
legally. I mean, that's the key word is illegal.
right. And the thing is, for Hispanic Latinos and everything else like that, this is not just pointed at you. It's for all illegals, like we've been saying on the previous shows and everything else like that. That the culture of the United States has been directed towards Hispanic and Latinos.
Which it's
It's not just
not them.
them. It's not just them. It's all illegals here and everything else like that.
It's just they can put it on them because we're
Right.
attached to Mexico. So that's who
Exactly.
gets most of the flack from it. So
Right. It's not just Hispanics and everything else coming through the border. You also have ISIS terrorists coming through. They caught what upwards of 20 now,
from
I
the
believe,
Mexican
from
border.
the Mexican border coming on the way up.
But you never hear
Multiple.
this in the news. I mean, it's
Well,
very silent.
that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
uh, You also have a lot of Asian immigration coming through. Women pregnant with kids are coming through the border, and the Border Patrol is told to stand down and help with the immigration process.
Because they've been told that they're not going to be deporting anybody from the federal government.
Right.
They've actually told Border Patrol they're not deporting anybody.
Like we said, illegals coming in. Now we are based on a immigration society. This is how America grew to be. But I think we're at a point in our sovereignty where we need to start doing background checks and stuff like that on people, just because of the things that are going on in the world. We have multiple. bombings and terrorist attacks and everything else coming through.
All right.
So,
Well, let's get back to Trump.
right, and the
Um,
steel.
yeah, so the seal, you have a whole shadow campaign that is actually, you got Mitt Romney, Ted Cruz, all the Bushes,
Yeah,
you got the Coca-Cola brothers, you have just all of these people putting in money that is all pretty much Republican side that is against Trump.
right.
You have just,
I mean, you have nations against Trump. You have the Pope against Trump. You have the president now against Trump. You know, he took some. He, I saw on Facebook when I was scrolling through that Obama's standing next to an illustration of Trump naked, and he's pointing and laughing at it. Now, you know, for me, the illustration was pretty funny, but the underlying saying just goes to show that you have a president not even supporting uh, one of the candidates. You know, yeah, he's Republican and everything, but to go as far as pointing a finger and everything else like that to a naked illustration of him, I think this, for being a president, I think that's very unpresidential.
and another big thing about Trump, he pays for his own campaign. He's not taking in money
Right?
from any corporations, so he's not in
So
anybody's
he has no
pocket.
holders,
Yeah, there's nobody
no
holding him.
owners. Like we said, pays for his own campaign, everything else like that. So I mean, that in itself should tell folks out there, that maybe hey, this guy maybe is for real, stuff like that. So
I mean, yeah, I mean, both parties don't like him, so
right,
there's something he has there that he's probably going to change a lot of it, try to get a lot of the corruptness out of the government.
right. But since we're talking about the steel and stuff like that, it's not just concerning Donald Trump or anything. We also have Bernie Sanders also feeling
Yep.
the threats and everything else like that with the steel, the votes. Hillary Clinton doing six flip coin tosses to get delegates, all with heads.
Heads, and she got them all.
I mean, that's a one in a whatever chance. I don't even know if they exist. But I mean, just
And they yeah,
crazy, just blatant out there. Hey, we're going to steal
super
the
delegates,
super delegates and everything else like that. We'll have a video posted up from Infowars
basically.
with one of the super delegates in California saying we're not going to vote for Bernie, even though most of the people know Bernie Sanders and everything else like that. I mean, it's just the insane corruption and everything else that these
It's just
people
who
think.
gets paid more money. That's
Right,
all it
exactly.
is. Hillary has more money from other countries. She's going to be paying the super delegates to vote for her. So,
I mean, it's just the corruption in America, folks, has just gone to a new level. A new level of corruption. And what can we do about it? Well, the power, like I've been saying, lies in our local government and stuff like that, local city council. So Roger Stone does have a to stopthesteal.org for Trump and everything else like that. If you guys are Bernie Sanders followers and everything, I recommend doing something like that for Bernie Sanders. Even though I personally don't support Bernie Sanders, I don't support socialism and everything else like that. But at least it's not
he'd be a better pick than Hillary on their
exactly,
side. But
exactly.
Hillary has all the money.
Right, and
So,
so we just have to look past that and actually support Bernie Sanders in the whole point of stopping the steal from these campaigns and everything else like that.
and then we'll talk about the National Border Patrol. The first time ever in history that they have endorsed a candidate for presidency.
Right. Uh, I mean, this is big. This is really big. I mean, first time ever, historic. Um, because right now the border patrol feels like they're useless. I should have done a report on it. I recently went down to Mexico. When I crossed into Mexico, um, there were basically five agents on the Mexican side just standing around talking to each other. Now, the first time I went down to Mexico and everything else like that, and possibly for other people who went down there, they check your vehicle going in, out, and everything else like that, and it was just people standing around because, if you feel worthless and stuff like that, or you don't have a motive
To
to
work,
work,
there's no point.
no point to check these vehicles. Nobody, there's no point if you're just going to help with the immigration process and everything else like that. So I mean, like I said, I should have done a report when I was down there, but it was a family emergency and everything else like that.
Yep.
So um, the borders are open, ladies and gentlemen. And for the border council to come out and say that we do support Donald Trump, which is huge, uh, to hopefully that they want their jobs to actually have meaning. That's what we get from this.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about next about Trump?
That's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't I think Trump he's really a wild card, and I really hope that he says he's really for America and everything else like that. Just because he is a loose cannon and everything else, he could swing either way. He could be for us and possibly turn around and say he's against us. So I mean, not everything I agree with Trump, but I mean overall, uh,
Well, I mean, he does have a genuine interest
right.
to help the country. He is a billionaire. He can move to another country and not worry about the world anymore. But he is running for president. I think he's the only billionaire to ever actually run for presidency. Um, just he wants to help. He feels like he can change something
Right.
other than political career politicians who are just
Yeah,
moving up the
just
ladder.
moving up the ladder. So this is where we stand on Trump. We do support him. We do ourselves have different views of what he's for and against and everything else like that. But for the most part, we're not fully we're not endorsing him. We haven't gave him any money or anything else like that for his campaign. We're just trying to get the awareness out that the steal is real, and it's not just for Trump; it's also for Bernie. So, like I said, Bernie Sanders, get on Stop the Steal or something like that for him,
Yeah.
because I mean we'd rather have Bernie than Hillary any day.
And if you look at it, I mean, both of these guys were outsiders. You got Bernie Sanders. He didn't declare he was an independent. So he didn't declare he was a Democrat until about 14 months ago when he was running for presidency.
All right.
You had the same thing with Donald Trump. He was an independent, and to get a nomination, you have to join a party to become president. So,
Right.
I mean, that is something that's wrong with the
Yeah,
two-party policy.
even though they're saying that it's a two-party system, it's really a one-party
It's just a
system
one-party system. It's called the establishment
for a reason.
for a
So,
reason. I mean, Obama was just a puppet. Bush is a puppet. Clinton's a puppet. And then they're gonna put in another Clinton, just another puppet. I mean, it's still gonna go the same way if she gets it. So
right.
just more corruptness, stuff
So
like that.
stop the corruptness.
So
Stand for liberty. Stand for the stand. All right. We need our voice to get out there, and by you, the viewer, the only way you're going to do it. I mean, right now we're filming at a house, so I mean, we need to get out there. We need to get more people awoke and everything else like that before it's too late. So this is Shane and Lance for the stand on another one of our candidates. We'll have another one up pretty soon. So stay tuned. This is Stan.